I got married, man, I never cheated on my wife, man. Because I stood in front of I got married in a Catholic church. I stood in front of the altar
and when you
priest,
think about it, Jimmy, the hell she put you through, if anyone could have cheated, you would have had a good excuse to if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I did. But I did. So the thing was,
that's what I mean. So even the hell she put you through, you didn't do it.
Right, exactly. And when I was in the church and I got married and I looked up at this giant cross with Christ on it, and I took my vows, I was like, you know what? I could never cheat on my wife because I took vows in front of Christ in the church. And I'm not about that, man. I wasn't going to do that. So I never, as bad as it got, and whatever happened, I never cheated on my wife. We split up. And once we split up and I was on the streets and I knew I wasn't going back, then eventually
Well, we've heard the stories of what Jimmy's wife did, but not even Jimmy's wife, the mother-in-law. If anyone should have been in jail for murder, it's Jimmy, but Jimmy took the higher road. So let that be a lesson.
Listen, I used to have even my cop friends used to come to my house and say, you know, Jimmy, I don't know how the hell you staying out of jail, man, because they seen shit firsthand that I went through, you know, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to do something stupid to put me behind bars.
Exactly.
You know, so
and that's what people forget. You got to be true to yourself. And this is what I hate when someone says, they made me do it. No, people can get you angry. People can push your buttons. How you react to it from that point on is on you. And if it's that bad, think ahead. If I act this way, I could get arrested. I could get put in jail. Even if you get into a fight these days, you can punch someone. They fall down, hit their head, get a blood clot. They're dead. Now your life's over. Yeah. So you know what? Just try, think, and
Yeah, well, I actually have a friend like that who broke. Actually, was in a bar, and there was two men fighting. And he got up to be a good Samaritan and broke the fight up. But in order to break the fight up, he had to push, he pushed the guys apart and he pushed the one guy, and the one guy hit his head and he died. And he went to prison, man. Yes. Just to break up a fight.
No, it was trying to do something good.
Yeah, and it turned bad, So listen, the bottom line is, you could always change your life. And I'm talking for myself too, as well as I'm talking to everybody else. If it ain't comfortable, if it don't feel right, you don't lose your shit. You just change your life, man. Change your course of life, man. Make shit different for yourself. You can do it. Yeah. You are in control of your own life, your own mind, your own heart. Yeah. Change it, man. Change it. Don't stay in it till it gets so bad you want to bust out and get physical with somebody. Just change it, man. Look, it's the new year coming. We don't know what 2024 is going to bring, but it's coming. And I think that everybody should really, I'm not really a big resolution guy.
And I'm sure you know too, Jimmy, changing your life, your whole relationships, jobs, whatever, it's a scary thing because even in a bad relationship, it's comfortable. It's like, even though you might not be happy, it's like comfortable.
That's why that one guy's staying with that girl.
Yeah, well, making change can be scary, but you know what? You got to try and do it. You're never going to know because so many people that I know who have been scared to do it, once they've done it, they're like, why didn't I do this years ago?
Right.
So you know what?
Exactly.
Believe in yourself. Trust in yourself. If it's not right, try and make the change. Yes, it's going to be scary. It's going to be hard. But you know what? You push through that and the outcome will be much better.
And I tell you, from my experience, anytime I've made a change and I didn't want it because I was stuck, comfortable or whatever it was, and I finally made the change, it ended up better. I was like, oh, Jesus, why did I do this?
That's why when March, when I come over for the Arnold
Classic,
that's like when March, when I come over for the Arnold Classic and I'm going to visit Jimmy, I'm packing his fucking boxes for him and moving him to fucking Florida. That's
why.
He just needs that little bit of an oomph to get going.
I do. I'm like a mule, man. I really am. Oh, man.
Well, I hope we answered that guy's question.
I think I should say so. Well, speaking of resisting violence,
yes,
that kind of goes right into our next confession.
Yeah.
You guys might suggest that very notion to this guy. Oh, hang on, pipe organs.
No, we never.
Right here it is. Hello, fathers. This will be my third confession so far, loving every single one of the shows you drop and the responses for not only my own confessions, but everybody else's too. Anyway, a little over a week ago, about 9 to 10 days, I found out from my wife, who was told from her sister. So wife's sister's boyfriend, okay? The wife's sister's boyfriend was home alone, and apparently a man came in with an AR and robbed him of just the PlayStation 4. The quote-unquote robber did not take anything else at all, literally just the PS4, nor did he hurt my sister-in-law's boyfriend. Now, this would be a funny story if it didn't have anything to do with me, but that PS4 is actually mine. I was letting my sister-in-law borrow it to watch streaming services. When I got home from work over a week ago, such an obvious bullshit story, I immediately put my jacket back on, grabbed my hunting knife. Oh, look at the tie-in. It's about 16 inches, he wants to let you know. And he grabbed the car keys. When I went to start the car, out of nowhere, it just wasn't starting at all, even though I had just started my engine 20 minutes prior when I was coming home from work. I took that as a sign from God and grabbed my stuff and went back in the house. I might have saved someone from getting murdered. This isn't really a confession, more of me looking for guidance or advice. I don't really know how to approach the situation without violence being involved. Yeah. I already made it clear without showing my face to him that I want my money for the console and there will be interest involved. But from here on out, I don't know what to do. I try to be better than my family members who have been through similar situations but are either dead or locked up for the rest of their life. He already knows. P.S. I know the story was bullshit because the only thing stolen was my PS4, not the 65-inch TV or plenty of more expensive items laying around, nor did her boyfriend have any bruises. Trust me, I'm familiar with this lifestyle. You aren't going to rob a house and not take in everything you can or hurt the person in there. The end.
Okay, well, simply what he's saying is he's lent his sister and the brother-in-law is lent the brother-in-law and the sister his PlayStation 4, which he loves. It's gone. So they've obviously sold it or hocked it off for money. They've told him somebody broke into the house and that's the only thing they took. Now, back to the violence thing. Listen, if violence won't solve anything, it's a PlayStation 4. You might have loved it. It's like if you're getting carjacked, people. Yes, look, I love my car, but it's insured. You want to take it? I'll get out, take the car. I'm not going to die for it or kill you for it than me have my life ruined. But because it's his family and you know they're sort of lying, just don't lend them anything again. Just be wary. It's shitty that, but the thing is though, you got to see why did they sell it? Is maybe they're embarrassed and maybe your sister and brother-in-law's going through a hard time and they needed money. And sometimes people are embarrassed to ask for money. So they sold it and made up this big story. It got stolen. But you know what? Don't go violence. It's not going to lead to anything. Don't get mad and just know deep in your heart they're lying and be very wary of them in the future. Don't lend them anything. And you know what? Maybe save up. Look, it's not going to be the same, but just go out and buy another PlayStation 4 if you can and just, and don't lend it to them again.
Get the PS5. Now's your chance.
Yeah, go one more. Go one better, yeah.
I have to be honest with you. I'm confused with the whole story.
Okay, I'll break it down, Jimmy. His sister and brother-in-law had his PlayStation 4. All of a sudden, they call him up and say, listen, a guy broke into the house with a gun and they stole the PlayStation 4. That's the only thing they took, the PlayStation 4. And he was that angry, he was going to go out and look for him and try and kill this person, but his car wouldn't start. So that's a sign from God saying no, because his car was working just like 10 minutes ago. But he knows because I guess he used to be that sort of thing that if someone breaks...
He's gone.
Jimmy's gone?
Yeah, he started having some issues.
Someone stole his PlayStation 4.
Oh no! Someone stole his Sega Genesis.
Did we hear the gun go off? Did he have to?
I saw him fidgeting with his phone like something was wrong. He's like fucking thing, and he just probably turned it off. We'll see him hop in.
The gun tipped over and.
No, and what I thought was a gunshot here is I forgot it's like close to New Year's, so it's fireworks. There's like just very, very individual mortars.
He was coming back. What happened?
Who could say? Who could know? He's dealing with his own robbery.
Here I am just talking. Here I am just explaining it to Tyler again.
I know. Well, I wasn't going to let you do it too.
All right, Jimmy. Now this is what happened, Jimmy.
It was the sister-in-law.
Can you hear me? Am I back?
Yeah,
yep,
it was the sister-in-law and her sister-in-law's boyfriend.
Fucking unbelievable,
okay,
man. I got to do something about these phone calls, man. I got to do something about it.
Okay, listen, Jimmy, put your head. You listening? Okay.
Yeah.
The sister-in-law and the brother-in-law borrowed his PlayStation 4. Right. All of a sudden, he comes over and they say, someone broke into the house with a gun, stole your PlayStation 4. They took nothing else but the PlayStation 4. So he was going to go out. He got his knife. He's got in his car to go look for this person and kill him. But his car wouldn't start, which was working not long ago. So sign from God. So it's like I said, they probably sold it because they needed money for something. They might have been too embarrassed to ask for money. But you know what? You've learnt your lesson. Do not lend them anything again. And nothing is worth getting in trouble for, like a PlayStation 4. Like I said, if you're getting carjacked, hand them the keys. Your car's not worth dying for. It's insured. Got it, Jimmy? Go ahead.
He chimed.
I got it. So, what happened was the sister and the brother-in-law borrowed his PlayStation 4. I don't even know what that shit is. But anyway, they borrowed the PlayStation 4.
Video games that they play.
A video game, whatever it is. Yeah. So then he called them to ask them back. He wanted his PlayStation 4 back.
Not even. They were like, "You're not going to believe this. We got robbed, and they stole only your PlayStation 4."
Yeah, right. So naturally, if I was this guy, I wouldn't believe that story either, because they came in your house with an AR-15. What did they say?
It's an AR. That's all we heard.
AR-15. This guy came in their house with an AR-15.
Took no wallets, no jewelry.
Didn't take any no jewelry, no money, no.
Give me your PlayStation. No.
Give me your PlayStation 4, man.
Hey, the guy was desperate. He wanted to play. The guy's son wanted a PlayStation 4. It's like that Arnold movie when he wanted Turbo Man. That's all he wanted. He had to go find it.
Just like that. It's the PlayStation 4. Give me your old console, bitch. Yeah.
So my advice to this gentleman who lost his PlayStation 4 to two people who fabricated a story.
It is funny that it's a PS4.
And what?
It makes it somehow funnier that it's a PlayStation 4 specifically.
Yeah, I mean, isn't a PlayStation 4? Isn't that outdated now? PlayStation.
Yeah,
it's not like something rare. It's not like something.
No, like you could get one at a thrift store for like.
There's a couple more now. Isn't there like a PlayStation X or something?
Well, these people must live out in like Nebraska or something. But anyway, make a long story short. Yeah, because in the middle of the country, people.
I suggest this guy goes down to cash converters. If he goes to cash converters or one of those pawn shops, I bet he can buy his PlayStation 4 back for $50. So go down there and get it.
It's definitely there, Or they told him that story and he actually kept it, and hopefully he ain't gonna be back. So my advice to the guy is, it's bullshit.
If you spy through their window at night, they're sitting there playing video games.
Playing Little Big Planet, playing Call of Duty.
Drive by at night, watch them play PlayStation 4. But the bottom line is, man, brother, let it go, man. Because if these people had to go to that extreme to get a PlayStation 4 and fabricate this entire story about a guy showing up with an AR-15 and breaking the door down and only taking that fucking... So the guy with the AR-15 is a pathetic motherfucker. And then these people are pathetic fuckers people because they had to make up the fucking pathetic story. The whole thing is fucking pathetic. So my advice to you is just let it go, man. Just let it go. Go out and buy yourself a more updated PlayStation.
At least when they told him and he come around, they could have at least got their TV. Yeah.
I know. You could have said,
at least they could have got their TV and microwave and hid it in the shed.
Listen, man, you should know better, man. You don't lend your fucking tools out. So your PlayStation 4 was a tool, something you enjoyed, you used it, you whatever. It's like lending them a chainsaw or a fucking a jackhammer. Don't lend your tools out because you don't get it back. That's the bottom line, man. So these people, they didn't want to give it to you back because they liked it or whatever the hell, so they fabricated this whole story, which was pathetic. So you know what? You got to take it like a grain of salt. And say,
do
you know
they
what?
do
Let them
drugs?
have
Do
the
they do
PlayStation.
drugs? Because normally,
Probably.
Yeah.
What if they if they do drugs? Because normally people that hawk things off like that use the money for alcohol or drugs or.
Well, yeah, maybe they hocked it off, but you know what? The bottom line is, don't lower yourself, man. You know what I mean? These people got problems. You know,
You're not going to get much for it. Like I said, it's not really worth anything.
It's like worth $70. It's not. It's not worth a lot.
Like I said, they probably lived out in Omaha somewhere in the sticks. The PlayStation 4 was a big deal, and you know, just let it go, man. Just scratch it off. Say, you know what? I'll go buy something.
I'm thinking more the Appalachian. I'm thinking the Appalachians.
Appalachians.
Yeah, definitely. It could be, or it could be down, you know, somewhere in the deep South, you know, like Tennessee, or you know,
I think Romano took it in South Carolina.
Just maybe.
Yeah, South Carolina, where John lives. Yeah, it could be down South Carolina. You know,
but you know what?
I am John Romano's neighbor. Listen, man. Yeah. When I was in the Marine Corps, when I was
John Romano is playing the PlayStation 4.
Yeah. He probably is. Yeah. He's probably got it hooked up to a 70-inch TV. So anyway, you know, when I was a kid, and this is how like different areas of the United States vary. You know, so when I joined the Marine Corps, I was very young. I made my mother co-sign it, and I finally went down to Paris Island. And when I was at boot camp, I met guys from the Tennessee Hills that didn't even know what a pair of shoes were until they joined the Marine Corps and they got a pair of boots. You know what I mean? So, you know, so this is what's going on. So these people got this PlayStation 4 and they thought it was like something out of like the future or something, you know, and they didn't want to let it go, or they sold it to somebody, another person who thought it was
$500, no less.
Exactly.
But Jimmy, you forgot the most important part. Those people from the Tennessee Hills didn't know what a pair of shoes were, but when you're in the foxhole with them, they knew how to keep you warm at night.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yes, they did. Yes, because they did.
And the dueling banjos was in the background.
I got to tell you another thing about those guys from the Tennessee Hills, man. Okay, they made a badass moonshine, bro.
Oh, I believe that.
And they used to tell me how they made it from potato or rice. How they made this moonshine that would blow your socks off, 200-something proof.
Yeah, they were giving you the Cosby special before Bill Cosby made it special.
Yeah, right, exactly. And these guys, some of these guys that I met from down south, and you know, and all that, when we got out of boot camp, we were like Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. And I was training in these gyms, you know, back in then. There was no gyms around in America really in the 70s, you know. But I trained in these gyms with these guys. These guys were like strong as hell, man, just naturally, you know. And I was like, wow, what a place. And I just really got into working out at that time when I was in the boot camp. You know, I did train before I went in boot camp, but once I got out of boot camp and I went into the regular Marine Corps and I saw these gyms that were like airplane hangars filled with equipment and all Marines just training, recon guys were, and I was like, holy shit, this is like my you know.
But not only that, you find people that's, I'm sure like you're from the city, but you find like country folk or even people like that, people think, oh, they're a bit backwards in that, but yet those people would have your back more than anybody. They have more respect. They have more family type.
100%.
Like, you know, it's like when you go to a country town, like everyone's friendly, everyone shows respect. They have morals and shit. It's like those type of people, if shit hits the fan, they're the people you want with you.
100%, man. 100%. I feel that way 100% because I've met so many guys from the South that had so much respect and honor, and they were like very true. They weren't liars. They were just straight up dudes, man. You know.
Yeah, they're the type. If you got shot and was laying out there, they'd risk their life to come drag you back. Someone from the upper area would be like, I ain't going out there. Fuck him.
Well, yeah, no. Somebody from New York would say, "Fuck that guy. I'm leaving. I'm splitting. You know, leave me in the fucking. Leave me bleeding there. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. Yeah. So you know, listen, man. It's all about respect and honor, and this goes back to all the confessions we just heard. It's all about respect and honor, man. You're married, man. You got to live it out, man. You know, whatever it is, You got to live it out. If your wife leaves you, that's one thing, man. But you got to stick it out, man. You can't be doing shit like these guys, like that one guy there that you don't know if he's in love. I mean,
it's like anything, relationship. If it's a job, if you've made a commitment to a woman to be married, if you've made a commitment to your job, if you've made a commitment to be in the forces or anything, you see it through to the end, and you do whatever it takes, whatever you signed up for. You go in 100% or nothing. It's like I said, if you're there in the war and you see your mate get down and he's been injured and they're still firing, it doesn't matter. That's your mate. You got to go out there. Don't leave him behind. Yes, you might get killed, but at least you got killed trying to save your fucking mate. Don't cower down and go, I didn't sign up for this. Yes, you fucking did. Just like you signed up for marriage, good times and bad times. Just like you got a job, you had a shitty boss, but you know what? You push through it. You signed up to do that job. So that's how it is. Once you commit to something, you give it 100% or you're wasting your fucking time.
Listen, Lee, I'm going to confess. I'm going to tell a little story about my father.
Ding the glass. Ding the glass. Ding the glass. Ding, ding, ding.
So my father was in the Korean War, okay? And
that's like a delay.
He never talked about the Korean War or anything like that. But one day, we went to see my uncle in Queens off of Conduit Avenue, right? And my father got a little bombed. You know, my uncle Dominic was giving him a lot of shots and drinks, and my father got wasted, you know. So anyway, we got in the car that night, and my father got in the car. And this is probably 1968, you know. There was no Dewey's back then, you know. So anyway, we get in the car. My mother's in the passenger seat. My father's driving. Me and my brother in the back, and we're driving. And my father's driving. He don't know where the hell he's going. And my mother, I remember my mother saying, because I was young, my mother saying, Al, where you going? You know, you're going into Kennedy Airport, Al. And my father's like, he goes, we'll take a plane home. Forget about it. Like he was really, you know. So she kept saying, Al, you got to pull over. So finally he pulled over. You know, thank God. And my mother took over, right? So now my father's in the passenger seat. Now he's not driving. So now he's like slumped over in this, you know, we had like a Chevy Impala back in those days, right? And my father slumped over the seat, you know, and all of a sudden he started falling asleep. And he started going into the war. You know, it's just, I never heard anything about the war. My father never talked about the war. And my father, I never knew this. My father's ship got hit, you know, with a torpedo. And it blew up half the ship, and a lot of his guys. This is at night too, because a lot of guys fell off the ship from the explosion, and guys were bleeding and busted up and cut up, and you know. So anyway, the sharks would come. My father was on the boat, and the sharks were coming because they were in the middle of the ocean, and they started like just devouring the men, you know, because all the blood in the water and all that. And my father was crying hysterical in the car, and he was like, "No," he goes, "No," he goes, "Don't go, don't leave me." He was yelling, you know. He goes, "I'll take care of you, I'll wash you, I'll feed you." You know, my father loved his friends so much that he wanted to wash them and feed them and take care of them because they were all getting slaughtered by the sharks. And my father was crying, and I was in the back seat as a young boy. I was like scared shit. I didn't know what to do because my father was having this nightmare when his ship got hit in Korea and all his friends were getting chewed up by the sharks, you know. And I didn't think a lot of it then, but like later on in life, after my father passed away in 1972, and I eventually joined the military and all of that because of him. And I thought about the respect and the honor my father had for his friends, you know, like it was unbelievable, you know, like we're losing that, you know. I mean, not everybody, but you know, and I think in a whole, a lot of the world is like we're losing the family, the love, the respect for the fellow human beings.
We're losing it in the communities too, because remember, like it's like I said, because we're all in our own little worlds now with these fucking phones and whatever that. Like back in the day, you probably had street parties, block parties. You knew everyone in the street. Today, people don't even talk to their neighbors anymore. We're losing this art of communication and just like I go out walking.
Lee, I'm living here 10 years. I said maybe 5 words to my neighbor over here. 10 years I'm here.
Yeah, I go out walking now, and sometimes I'll be walking past. I say good morning to someone. They're like, "Yeah." It's like. Before in the old days, you'd say good morning, and you'd stop and have a half-hour conversation with somebody you've never met.
That's why, you know, I mean, that's why when I hear these stories, these confessions, I mean, some of them are funny, you know, we make fun of them, yeah, but like some of them are like, you know what, man, where's your respect as a man? You know, like you should be providing for your family and your wife and your children and guard them with your life. You know what I mean? Where you're not gonna go screw around with some nut job. You know what I mean? Because like where's your morals?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
it's like I even
commitment.
said today. I said on a video the other day I was doing for another podcast. They said, like, Christmas Day when people are alone. I said, look, a lot of people are alone, but when I first come to America, I was alone. But I'd go for a walk sometimes, and look, I don't know strangers, but yet I would, good morning, Merry Christmas, how are you? I might have been in a Denny's by myself. I spark up a conversation, and next thing you know, Denny's. I have the best conversation with this person I've never met because they're alone, and you just start talking about stuff, and your boring, shitty day because you're alone now turns into something nice because you've just met a stranger who's in the same position. And I think we're losing that, where you would just walk past someone and say good morning, and then next thing you know, you've been standing there for an hour talking to this person and had a great time. So we're losing the art of communication and just being like respectful to our fellow humans and just talking and smile and say hello. Stop looking down, look up, look them in the eyes and say, have a good day. Yeah, some don't say hi back, but you know what? Don't let that ruin your day. You be the better person and just...
I got to say, Lee, I try to keep that going too, because like every morning when I go to 7-Eleven, I'll be at 7-Eleven, maybe there'll be another guy making coffee there, and I'll start like joking, because that's me, I just start joking and talking to people, and then I get the guy laughing, because I try to break up the stale air between people,
Exactly.
I did
it on the elevators all the time. When you hop on an elevator, you get on an elevator, everyone's talking as soon as you step in the elevator. So I always just stand there and go, shh, don't anybody talk. We're not allowed to talk in elevators. And then someone will start laughing, and then we'll start talking, because every time you hop in an elevator, everyone goes silent. It's like,
I know, yeah, you break it up.
Why can't we talk? We're in this proximity, and no one will talk to each other, not even say, hello, have a good day, how are you? It's so weird. The elevator, everyone just goes...
I am the guy that I'm like, don't fucking talk to me, and I'm forced to be next to this person that I don't know now within a foot, and I just But
the worst is when you're
somebody went in there and said,
I just go, shh, don't
if somebody did that, I would laugh for sure.
I don't do elevators. I don't do elevators, but
and then you start talking. You're like, hope you have a good day.
I remember many years ago, I don't know, I was going for an audition in Manhattan. I was in an elevator with quite a few people going up to like the 30th floor or whatever, and somebody broke wind in the elevator, and everybody was like looking at each other, like, and they were looking at me, and I'm looking at like everybody in their mind is saying, "No, fuck you! I didn't fucking do it."
I didn't do it.
Like it was this whole mental thing going on in the elevator. Nobody said a fucking word.
Not one word.
Like it was this whole mental thing going on. I said, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here.
I used to have a buddy. I used to have a buddy sometimes. We'd be on an elevator. My friend and I would be on an elevator. And without fail, sometimes I'd always get off first, because as he's leaving, he'd go, and then he'd turn around and go, oh, sorry about that, as the door shuts. He'd fart in it and then leave. I knew he was going to do it every time, so I'd get off first, because I knew he was going to do it.
What a horrible human being.
And they would scrap with your gas.
Well, sometimes, he'd do too. He'd be an asshole. And let's just say there was 20 floors and someone's going to the 18th. You'd stand there and go, 12, 14, 15, 16. Shut the door. So they're going to ride the fucker all the way. They can't get out for a fucking 5 minutes.
It's like fucking tear gas, the rise of water. And shit they can't wait to get.
Mustard gas.
Yeah, they can't wait to get the fucking door open. Everybody runs the fuck out of the elevator.
It's like they go on to 18th, but they get off at 12 and do the stairs.
I don't even know how I'd react. Like, I can't even imagine that happening.
I would be like pounding on the elevader door, like, you bastard!
Yeah, you motherfucker! Yeah, Jimmy would freak out.
Like, how long can you hold my breath? But son of a why is this though? Have you ever noticed though? Us as humans are fucking weird, because how many times do you see this? Someone could fart, and they say, "Oh, I just farted," but then we sit there and go, "Oh, you fucking did too." It's like, why do we wait around to smell it before we have to fuck off? It's like if someone goes, I farted.
I don't wait.
If someone goes, I farted, why don't we leave? We always go, And the thing is too, and then we grade those farts in our head because someone can fart and they go, "Well, that's bad," and you go, "Oh, that wasn't as bad as the one you did such and such." It's like we must have a grading system in our brain.
No, we definitely do. I grade my own farts. You know, I'll be in the truck driving, and I'll let one loose, and I'll go, "Wow, that was bad." You know what I mean? Then another time,
isn't it sometimes as bad as it is, you think to yourself, it's not that bad. I actually enjoy the smell. As bad as it is, because it's your own. You're like,
a couple of times
that's a good one. That's a 10, good one.
I'll be driving the truck, and all of a sudden I hit bumps, and I let one go, and I'm like, that's not bad. That's not bad. You know, it's not bad.
I have a confession.
We're sick bastards, man.
I've got a confession.
But then someone opens the truck door and goes, it's like if you take a dump after a while, you can take a shit. You take a shit and you're in the toilet. It stinks at first, but then you must get used to it. You're like, oh, it doesn't smell anymore. But then someone walks in and goes, who the fuck shit in here? It's like, what? I can't smell anything.
Yeah, because you got used to it. I light matches in my bathroom when I go.
I have a confession.
Go ahead, Tyler.
I can't.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like.
Oh, ding the glass for him. Ding the glass for him.
Oh, ding it, please.
Hold on.
Thank you.
I struggle. Tyler's got a confession.
I confess that I struggle. I don't like romantic partners to ever fart or to ever imagine them capable of farting, even though they're human beings as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you? You're not allowed.
Well, I've been with my wife. I've been with my wife now over 5 years.
Like whoever you're seeing romantically, like whoever your sexual partner is, I can't think the farting.
Yeah. So let me ask you: farting in the bed, farting in the bathroom, farting in the hallway, farting where?
Now listen, I've been with my
away.
wife.
We do it away from each other.
Yeah. Well, I've been with my wife.
In other words, if she's
years.
farting in another room.
She probably does. I don't have to know about it. I don't want to hear about it.
I got an outside toilet. My wife will go to the outside toilet.
Your wife goes to the outside toilet, so you get it.
And then 5.5 years I've been with her, I've never farted in front of her. She's never farted in front of me. I think the odd occasion when I'm sleeping, one could happen.
Oh yeah, no, I'll admit. I've very shamefully, I've let a few slip.
If I'm on the couch and she's on that end of the couch, really got to go. I just close my legs really tight and let it out and just hope. But then the good thing is I've got lots of cats there, and sometimes she goes, "Oh, I think Felty just farted."
Yeah.
Oh, the cat. Yeah,
I think I've let a dog. I've let the dog blame once.
So Lee, Tyler, I got a confession. You know, years ago when I was younger, ding, yeah, you're gonna like this one, right? So years ago when I was younger, and I used to sleep around like a maniac, right? Because that was my thing. And I would be in bed with this chick, you know, after a nightclub, whatever. I go back to her place and I'd be in bed. And then during the night, I had to fart really bad, right? Because of alcohol or whatever, you know. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to fart. What am I going to do, you know? So when I was naked and, you know, in the bed with the girl, you know. So I used to take the sheet, you know, and I used to put the sheet in between my ass cheeks, you know. And then I used to let it go, you know.
You didn't spray it, did you?
No, you couldn't hear it because it was. I had it, you know, the sheet
muffled.
Between the cheeks.
I never thought about that.
And I would just let
the cheeks make the noise.
Yeah, right. The cheeks make the noise. So I stick the sheet in there, and I'd fart. I would go, you know, in the sheet, and I was like, oh man. I was like, you know. Then I would take the sheet and I would go like this, you know, like across the room, and. You know, she never knew. It was great, man.
You know what's the worst? The worst thing ever was when you're first in the beginning of a relationship and you go to her. You go to her house, she comes to your house, and you got to take a shit. But you're holding it in because you don't want to do it because the relationship's so new. Or even if you're in a hotel, in the room, I'd go down to the foyer toilet and use that one.
I hate hotels for that reason.
Oh yeah,
the bathrooms are like.
You know what I do sometimes? I go to the toilet. I'll go to the toilet, and as I'm sitting on the toilet, I'll take toilet paper like this and put under my asshole and push it tight. So if I farted, that would be like, I'd just really muffle it. I'd really muffle it.
You guys are you're teaching me some new tools for my.
What I used to do is I used to turn the sink on full blast.
Oh, I've done that.
Sit on the toilet.
Well, I went to Anytime Fitness.
Yeah, I turned the water on for sure.
Yeah, they got toilets next to each other in Anytime Fitness, and each toilet has the sink in there. And I was in one toilet about to go, and someone was in the next one beside me, and I heard, I thought, fuck, you can actually hear. So I turned the sink on, and then I got the paper. And then do a flush as well, because the flushy noise makes more noise as well.
Yeah. Well, I flush as I defecate. You know
the worst thing? Have you ever been in a public toilet? There'll be 10 stalls. I go to the end one, get the toilet paper all over the seat, busting to go. Just as I'm about to shit, someone sits in the toilet beside me. I'm like, now I can't go. I can't go now. So I'm holding it. And this fucker is obviously in there on their phone, taking forever.
It's relaxing.
So now I'm going to flush it.
You know what I don't understand, Lee? Like, why when you go in a public bathroom, like in an airport or something like that,
yeah,
and you go in the bathroom, it's so quiet, man.
I know.
Right? They should have like music pumped in the bathroom.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like so fucking. You go in there, it's so fucking quiet. You know, and you gotta try to take a shit, and they gotta hear every little thing. You know what I mean? You know, it's fucking hard.
What I do is I wait till someone uses the hand dryer. When someone does the hand dryer, and then I squeeze it out really quick when the hands are being dried, because the hand dryer is like.
It's so funny how much Lee cares. Like, if I'm in a public bathroom and that's the one place I don't care. You know, it's like fuck these stranger men that I'm never gonna see again.
I still do. I hate it.
Yeah, I know. But you still feel bad, like, you know.
Because I think they're going to look under the stall. If I got red shoes on, I think they're going to look under the stall, see my shoes, and then wait out the front and go, that was the fucking cunt. That was the cunt that did that in the red shoes.
They're going to take a good half hour out of their life to make sure they have that interaction with you, give you their 2 cents.
Only once in my lifetime did I have a bad stomach that was that bad. I went to the toilet and no one was in there, so I had to work gas and I'm pushing it out. Someone actually walks in and he goes, "Are you okay in there?" I said, "Yeah, my wife's cooking Mexican. It doesn't agree." And he just started laughing. But that's what he goes. He goes, "Are you okay in there?" I went, "Mexican, my wife cooking."
No, you know what the best is, Lee, with you with your red shoes, right? You say you're in the stall, shitting your brains out, right? You're trying to be incognito, and then eventually you come out of the store, and you're at the sink, you're washing your hands, and the guys come out of the stall, and they see your red sneakers, they go, "That's the motherfucker that was in there blowing up the toilet." You know what I mean? Yeah.
Or the worst thing is they go, "Are you Lee Priest? That fucking Lee Priest did a fucking hell of a shit."
God,
that's the worst.
I guess he has some fame.
That is the worst. That is the worst when you got to go to the bathroom.
Or the worst is aeroplanes. I never try shit on a plane. I just try and piss. But sometimes I go into the airplane toilet. Someone's already taken a shit, but I just do a piss. So I walk out, and the next person's going in thinking, I'm the one that left that smell. I'm thinking, it wasn't me. It really wasn't me.
I hate those fucking airplane toilets, man. You know, they just freak me out. I can't take them, you know.
Every time when I pee, I put my head against the wall. That's when turbulence hits. Right, turbulence hits every time I go to take a piss. I'm hanging under the handle. Like, ding, go back to your seat. I haven't finished pissing yet.
I usually put there's like a wall there by the toilet. I usually lean my head against the wall. And I fucking pee like that.
You know? Embrace your foot against the other side.
I gotta have some stability, you know.
It's nice to have, you know, a little balance.
Oh my God!
The confessions of the poops and farts. It's fun.
Well, we're probably teaching people how to muffle the sounds. You know?
I didn't know about the toilet paper trick or the sheets in between the cheeks. That's
I have the ceiling fan on, and my wife, even with the ceiling fan on, my wife has a fan on her side of the bed, blowing across her and across me. So I figure if I do let one out, at least her fan is blowing it away from her and me and out the door. So yeah.
I like matches in the bathroom, even if I'm home alone. I just
those are weirdly effective.
It's not effective. It is effective.
It's weirdly they are effective.
Sometimes you go to a public toilet, if you get lucky, some idiot's been in there smoking, so the cigarette smoke, even though I hate it, covers the shit smell.
Do you know what doesn't? I think, in my opinion, though, that poop Paris shit that you're supposed to put in the toilet before.
Oh,
that makes me nauseous. Because now it's great. Now I can smell my own shit and oranges.
That reminds me. That reminds me of my grandparents. My grandparents would buy the cheapest toilet spray, like no-name brand lemon. And my grandmother, she used to eat a lot of food, so she could take some good dumps. My grandmother, the soul. But she would spray that, and I'd go, Nan. I said, that's the worst smelling spray. And she goes, it's lemony. I said, it smells like someone shit in the lemon field. It doesn't cover the smell at all. It just mixes. It just mixes.
You know what it is? It's so cheap that the smell just rides on the shit smell.
Yeah.
It don't dissolve in a mask. It rides on.
I said, it smells like someone just took a dump in the lemon tree. It's fucking awful.
That's how I feel with all those pooperies. Like even like
my grandmother back in the day, she'd always take like not Metamucil, but then in the morning she'd always have a warm glass of Epsom salts. And so after the Epsom salts would go straight through her. Sometimes I was in the kitchen. I thought my grandma was letting off M80s in the toilet. Boom, boom, boom. I gotta love you, grandmother, but man, she let some stinkers out.
I feel the shit coming on.
We'll leave your headset on, Jimmy, and go to the toilet.
There you go.
Yeah, I could.
Man. Well, that's a fun note to end things on. I mean, we're out of confessions, so
it's been 2 hours. Oh my God.
Yeah. Time flies.
Yeah.
So, before we go, I want to wish everyone a happy and safe New Year. And like I said too, don't wait till the New Year's to make a resolution.
Right.
Do it tomorrow. Do it whenever, because I've always said I've had so many friends. I hate when I see them. I'm going to make a New Year's resolution. Come next year, I'm going to start training and dieting and that. 31st, New Year's Eve, they're out drinking, doing drugs. So their New Year doesn't start to the 3rd because they're that shit-faced and hungover. The 1st and the 2nd, they're in bed. So it's like, good start to the New Year, people. Oh, and happy birthday. She doesn't always watch this, but my wife's birthday on Monday, the 1st of January. Happy birthday to my wife.
Hey, this should be airing on her birthday, so it's a terrible birthday gift.
Exactly. And the good thing is, she's all going to be happy. I got 5 bottles of tequila out there between now and her birthday. Yes.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Well, happy birthday to your wife.
Lee, you probably didn't see this. I had this on the candelabra back here. You probably didn't notice it, but I'm going to show you right now. I can't see.
Fucking X-ray vision's not working. Oh, your little koala bear. Oh, look at that.
Little koala bear.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice, Jimmy.
We do love Australia.
Yeah. Even though you should have held the bear this way, Jim. You got to hold him the right way. Hold him that way. He's upside down, remember?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. The ball. I also want to wish everybody sincerely, truly a happy New Year. And I hope, things are different, better. And I'm not a big New Year's resolution guy, but if you made them, stick to them, see them through. And, we enjoy doing the show, and, just please keep writing in the confessions.
Things like you said, Jimmy, let people start the new year off just being true to yourself. And as Jimmy said, if you're true to yourself, your new year will have a brighter outlook with friends, relationships, everything. Be happy with who you are, be yourself, and everything else will fall into place.
I got to say, Lee, it's a very hard thing to be true to yourself, because a lot of people...
It's scary. A lot of people are scared.
Yeah, it is. And I got to say, I'm guilty of that too myself.
I'm lucky I've never been that way. I've had my wife tell me, and other people tell me, I wished I could be like you and just say whatever and do it. I said, but I was always taught not to lie, just be myself. And yes, like I said, I've had people hate me for being myself, but you know what? Those people don't count. If I can be myself around whoever I'm around, because I'd hate to be those people, like you said, it's like, if I'm going to this party, it's them. I got to act this way. And now I go here, fuck, I got to act this way. Like, having to do that would just be miserable to me. So like I said, if you be yourself, and it can be scary because people go, well, if I be myself, they're not going to like me. It's almost like when the gay thing was back in the old days. It's like, if I come out being gay, I'm going to lose my friends. So people would hide it and be depressed and shit. Look, if you're gay, let that fucking flag fly. If your friends fuck off, they're not your true friends. You'll make new friends who will respect you for who you are, no matter what race, religion, sex, who you vote for. Just be yourself.
That's a lovely notion.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, you know, if you have like dreams or thoughts, or you want to do make a move, and you really feel it in your heart, you should do it, man. Because I think, you know, if you do it, I think the outcome is going to be very good. You're going to be very happy with the outcome. I really do. I believe that.
And the outcome might not be exactly. Yeah, and the outcome might not be exactly what you expected, but you know what? At least you gave it a go and you tried. I always say, listen, you can never fail if you give it a go and give it 100%. Failure is not trying. If you tried and give it your best, that's not failure. Mightn't have worked out how you wanted, but at least you gave it a shot.
And the other thing is, if you never do it, you're always going to wonder.
Exactly.
Right. You're always going to say, so what if I did that? What would I, you know, so you're always going to have that.
And who knows what you could be shooting for might not happen, but as you're shooting for that, there could be another corner in the road that you go down and lead you somewhere else, which is better than what you were shooting for. But like you said, you got to actually go for it and give it your best shot. Because life is all about being knocked. It's not about being knocked down, how hard you take the punches. It's about how hard you can get back up and keep moving forward.
Yeah, thanks, Dad.
Well, that's true. And then the other big thing is that, you know, life is very short. You know, I'm 64 already, and I never in my life believed I'd even reached it.
And I bet 30 just felt like that long ago.
Don't tell me that.
Unbelievable. So, you know, I look back and I'm saying, wait a minute, hold on. I just remember when I just got married. I just had kids. I was in the Marine Corps. I was living in Florida. I just, it's like my life just,
it gets scary. It gets scary when you think you're probably past the halfway mark now.
I'm definitely past the halfway mark. You know, then they think about like my career, like all this shit I did for Twin Lab and Hot Stuff and Worldwide Sports, and you know, I traveled around, lifted weights and meeting all kinds of people, signing away. You know, it's like that's, you know, that's gone too now. You know, like
and now Jimmy's like, look at me now. Look at me. I get fucking dressed up as a priest on Friday night.
Yeah, but that's okay. You know what? I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be where I am right now, right? So what I'm doing right now is what I'm supposed to be doing, you know. And
and it's like I say, people go, would you change your life? You know, the mistakes you've made. It's like, look, you can go back through life and change the mistakes you've made, but then you know what? You're only going to make newer mistakes, which could be worse than the mistakes you made before. So we all make mistakes. Just be happy with them. But like as Jimmy says, in the future, just go for it. Whatever you're dreaming of doing, whatever you want to change, attempt to make a move and do it, because if you don't, you'll never know, and who knows what you're missing out on.
Exactly, 100%. I agree 100%. So that's my my new outlook for the new year is I want to try to follow my dreams, whatever the hell I'm.
That means I'm going to see Jimmy down under. Jimmy's coming down to see kangaroos and koalas.
That's huge, but you know, it's possible. It is possible.
But I bet if you got here in Australia for 2 weeks, you and me, you'd probably have one of the best times of your fucking life. Me and you traveling around Australia.
You know what I'm afraid of, Lee? I'm going to tell you what I'm afraid of. Because well, if I make the flight to Australia,
well, like I said, I'll come to America and fly back with you, because I'll be with you. And then on the flight, Jimmy, alcohol's free the whole way.
So my thing is that if I did make it to Australia, you know, I might be so petrified that I'll never come back. I'll probably live out my life.
Hey, and what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Huh? What's wrong with that?
I ain't no way I'm going back to America. I'm staying right here.
we can get in my '68 Camaro and drive into that ocean like Thelma and Louise, Jimmy.
And we can film it while we're doing it. We give the people motivation.
Go live as the water comes into the car.
So you gotta live your dream, man. Whatever it is, if it's driving into the ocean, just do it. You know, don't have any regrets, man. Just hit the throttle and go, man. You know what I'm saying?
You don't fuck that one up, because you don't want to be living your life in a wheelchair on a breathing tube. If you
you don't want to fuck that up, man. You gotta like go for it the whole way, 100%. You know.
But the thing is, just be yourself, be happy, and everyone around you will be happy. You'll have the right people who should be there. So
absolutely.
Too much negativity. Too much negativity in the world right now.
Listen, man. So Tyler's running the email on the bottom of the screen.
That's right.
Please write in your confessions so me and Lee and Tyler could keep going.
Yeah.
We
It
enjoy
doesn't
it.
even
We
have
have a
to
lot
be
of fun.
confessions. It could be just
Anything.
if you want to tell us a nice story or something that's happened to you or something.
Right.
Something like we've said, that you're in a shitty position, but you went out and you can say, listen, I was in this position and I did this because your story could help other people in that same position.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
please write it to RxMuscleConfessions.com. Email, what is it, gmail.com.
RxMuscleConfessions at gmail.com is the confession booth.
Yes.
Going
Yeah,
across
please
the bottom of the screen.
Right, exactly. Right on the bottom of the screen. So we can continue and have laughs and fun and talk about the people's, and like Lee said, it don't have to be an actual confession. It could be about something you did or something you want to do, or or something that happened. And we could discuss it
you could be in a shitty job and you've been in that job for so long, but you think, fuck, if I leave this job, will I have the stability to go here and there? And you might have worked out a way to do it, and you telling your story could go to maybe 100 people who are in that same position thinking, if this guy can do it, I can do it. So
yeah,
absolutely. And I just like, it could be like anything, like a daily event. Like you're coming home. Oh yeah, hey, hi buddy.
It's Bax. Say hi to your uncles.
Hey Baxter. Hey, look at you.
What is that? Is that a schnauzer? What is that?
It's a schnauzer.
No, it's a fucking Doberman, Jimmy. What do you think of that? He's got his Halloween costume on.
Listen, I'm drinking so much wine. I thought it was a German Shepherd for a minute. I had to look at it.
Fucking Santa Claus without the red coat. What do you think?
It's a Doberman. That's a good one.
I just want to thank everyone that's listened to this show for
thank you so much.
How long we've been on, listening to a bunch of just normal people dressed in silly costumes.
Yeah.
But hey, we keep it real. We try and be as real as we can. Well, I am, and Jimmy is, and Tyler is. So just keep it real. Be yourselves. Be happy. And as Jimmy said, life's too short. And I hate that saying, you only live once. And I've told you before, no, you only die once. You live every day. So don't waste a moment of those days that you have, because there's some poor bastard right now in bed taking his last breath.
That's right.
And you're taking for granted what he wants. So go out and enjoy it.
Okay, I will. Thanks, Priest.
I got to make one more promise
Ding the glass
next year, I will have an actual priest shirt or bishop.
I'm calling bullshit on that one, though. But
I know, yeah. We'll see about that resolution.
No, he will have it, because as soon as the shop opens, I'm going down and fucking buying him one. I'm going to express mail it to him. So
telegram it.
Yeah, I'm going to FedEx it to him. So Jimmy will have one.
Very good. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Happy New Year. See you next week.
Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year. I love you.
And the funny thing is,